You might think that McDonald's and other quick service restaurants owe most of their success to their products, when in truth, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Hi, I'm Nugget. In today's lesson, I'll be covering the nature of quick service restaurants and their application of the revenue management principles. To understand this concept, I will familiarize you with its day-to-day operations. Fast food is the most familiar type of restaurant to most people. Chains like McDonald's and Burger King have thrived since the 1950s and have helped spawn countless similar concepts like Taco Bell, KFC, and In-N-Out Burger. McDonald's business model is known for its value, speed, and convenience, as well as their commitment to making a positive impact locally, from providing good food, customer service, job opportunities, and supporting local charities. Historically, McDonald's was first founded by the McDonald's brothers in the 1940s, followed by Ray Kroc, the very first franchisee. In 1955, Ray Kroc opened his first restaurant in Des Plaines, Illinois, and the McDonald's Corporation was born. 2 years later, quality, service, cleanliness, and value became the company's motto. By 1965, over 700 restaurants went public on the stock exchange. Today, about 2.5 million guests visit the restaurant across Canada every day. With its franchisees, it operates more than 1,400 restaurants and employs more than 80,000 Canadians. In most recent years, especially in America, people are consuming more calories and meals away from home than in the past. Today, there are millions of Americans with busy schedules that don't have enough time to prepare meals at home. Therefore, fast food options have become more attractive to their speed and convenience. So you probably think that McDonald's is just a food business, but they're in real estate as well. When Ray Kroc was working with the McDonald's brothers at the time, he hired Harry J. Sanborn, who had a revolutionary financial idea for franchising in the 1950s. At the time, Kroc was struggling to make the business profitable, and this was unattractive to most investors. Sanborn's idea was to lease a piece of land for each restaurant and sublease that to a franchisee.
How does this relate to revenue management?
You see, McDonald's counts 35,429 restaurants worldwide, and of those, 6,738 are owned by McDonald's itself. With that, their operating margin for franchised restaurants is an industry-leading 83%.
But Nugget, why is this even a point?
Because McDonald's is able to drive more volume and more profit to franchise restaurants than any other global fast food chain, thus bringing McDonald's profit from two sources: franchise fees and rental income. And this shows that McDonald's is not just selling burgers and fries, it's selling the brand. Forecasting in restaurants often requires immediate attention. This is often a challenge since it calls to maintain a balance between inventory and customer service. In the realm of fast food restaurants, they face a continuing challenge of establishing accurate inventory on a day-to-day basis, like targeting for dry and frozen products while maintaining a high level of customer service. A strong forecast in this subset looks at hours, if not weeks, and often considers real-time conditions like weather. This type of challenge was recognized back in 1977 by Carl Karcher Enterprise. You see, Carl's Jr. started out as a hot dog stand in the 40s, and as it became a fast food chain, it dealt with more than 1,500 items of inventory. And as the company grew, it realized that it was facing new inventory challenges. Previously, its distribution centers would approximately ship 1 million cases of hamburger patties, 940,000 cases of French fries, and 310,000 cases of chicken breasts per year. This had led to an oversupply of goods that led to an increase in carrying costs. To address the problem, the enterprise had installed a software that incorporates statistical process control that helped the company manage their inventory by forecasting product demand. Today, we come to know this as a POS system, or point of sale system, and most commercial fast food chains have the same software like MetroD to record products on a weekly basis. Back then, for this initiative to work, the system would collectively gather historical transactions until the point of appropriately identifying inventory levels. For Carl Karcher Enterprise, this implementation had reduced the distribution costs by 29%. This was significant at the time, especially for fast food chains that was still prominent in this market. In addition to the reduction of carrying costs, forecasting must also be considered during day-to-day production. The production behind any fast food establishment requires the most efficient means in order to deliver the fast food. A widely used approach is the idea of assembling a product as much as possible before the cooking process. This way of production can reduce a guess while waiting time greatly, which is exactly what both the organization and guests want. Pre-building your products, of course, carries along certain issues of food costs. This is further depicted by a pizza operation who had encountered this very issue. This establishment pre-makes the pizzas. Leftover complete pizzas are disposed, and leftover unfinished pizzas that aren't assembled yet are brought back to inventory. The partial postponement strategy was created in order to address this issue. Partial postponement involves creating only a limited amount of the completed product. Once depleted, staff members will create the food products on the fly. Therefore, the establishment is now responsible for determining par levels by gathering data on a day-to-day basis and applying the information to your production system. Today, consumers are attracted to convenience. The nature of today's quick service restaurants, or QSR competition, is based largely on technology and the increased quality of service. Technology has become a crucial tool in increasing guest satisfaction. Mobile technology has allowed companies to expand their reach through ordering, marketing, loyalty programs, and payment within one's mobile device. Starbucks and Taco Bell have created their own mobile apps in order to gain a competitive advantage amongst their competition. McDonald's has begun to introduce their self-serving kiosks with a new build-your-own burger feature that was implemented, allowing guests to customize their own orders for a premium price. Combining convenience and offering a new menu option through these self-serving kiosks depicts how crucial technology will be within competition heading towards the future. Aside from the internal competition within the fast food industry, they face a new, rapidly growing segment of the restaurant industry, this segment being fast casual restaurants. Upon the release of QSR Magazine's Top 50 Brands in Quick Service and Fast Casual, the fast casual establishment Panera Bread cracked top 10 for the first time in history. Fast casual establishments represent a healthier alternative and higher quality food products and services for a slightly increased price. During the beginning of the year of 2015, McDonald's began to experience a loss of business due to the emergence of the fast casual restaurants. Looking deeper into the issue, you can determine that this has derived from the millennials' shift towards a more healthier alternative. Now, in 2016, after numerous months of declining growth in revenues and McDonald's began to adopt, Steve Easterbrook, CEO, mentioned the use of cage-free eggs and more transparency into how the company sources ingredients. The rise of fast casual restaurants will continue to hinder QSR sales and revenues. Fast food giants such as Burger King, Wendy's, and KFC must also adapt in order to continue to thrive. Many quick service restaurants now face potentially significant market changes as calorie and nutrient information on restaurant menus and menu boards have been proposed at federal, state, and local levels. The introduction of this model raises awareness for a change in quick service restaurants and the way in which they manage their revenues. With rising obesity rates, questions regarding both the healthfulness of food and consumers' awareness have been proposed. A solution to this problem might include the provision of smaller portion sizes and perhaps improving the consumer awareness on nutritional labels to promote their healthier food choices. However, the quick service restaurants will have to encounter revenue and cost barriers to confront these challenges. So the real challenge is to bring these barriers to a minimum and confront them in the most manageable way. To start, the fast food chains will have to think unconventionally and from a new perspective. First, they will have to be aware of the kinds of customers that they face. On average, the industry targets the low to middle earning class, but demographics aside, there are two important psychographic or attitudinal differences between customers. The first is an automatic thinker who leads to decisions very fast, effortlessly, uncontrolled, emotional, and often unconscious. The second is a reflective thinker who makes decisions that are slow, effortful, controlled, deductive, and generally involve self-awareness. The problem is that fast food restaurants worry that their customers might see less value in eating out if the portion sizes are reduced. So in order for these major food chains to avoid a loss in value, they will have to make changes in the most desirable way for their customers. To lower the portion sizes and calorie consumption, the quick service restaurants will have to trick the automatic thinker and trigger the reflective thinker. The 2004 film Super Size Me put McDonald's in the obesity bullseye when it highlighted the chain's service policy of asking customers if they would like to supersize their portions of fries and drinks for a small premium. Schwartz et al. Turned the idea around with a POS intervention where the customers were explicitly invited to downsize their portion. In one experiment, 35% of customers agreed to downsize. It might cost the QSR to lose 25 cents on 35% of their orders, but currently in many QSRs, if a customer asks for a smaller than usual portion, the server simply does not know what to do. If a right size became a more widely known concept, some chains might increase 35% of their customers' value. The next problem to address is the low consumers' awareness on nutritional labels. It's stated that people consume more when served larger portions. However, it's also true that many consumers wish they did not overeat. So although the nutritional labels are intended for use by the entire population, they're more likely to be used by those who are well educated, have higher incomes, and have a greater knowledge of nutrition. So for the lower educated population, there's a lot of confusion with nutritional labels. One, for example, is that consumers are mistaking the calories per servings with the calories per total content. So the goal for QSRs would be to benefit those with lower educational levels by making the labeling system easier to understand. One way of addressing the solution is to make the use of non-numeric labels. One example conducted in a hospital cafeteria found that traffic-light labeling system promoted purchases of green, healthier items and decreased purchases of red, less healthy items. With the introduction of easier labeling system and smaller portion sizes, QSRs may be able to face the upcoming market changes proposed at federal, state, and local levels without jeopardizing the level of value that they provide to their customers. Another revenue management challenge that is often overlooked is the lack of training and development of multi-unit managers, MURs, also known as area managers, regional managers, or district managers. They are responsible for multiple restaurants in an organization. As companies establish more restaurants, more intricacies and issues will arise. As we all know, the quality of service and products will in turn translate into an increase of revenue, but there needs to be communication between single unit managers and corporate personnel. This is the role of the MUR. It is an MUR's responsibility to approach any problems, maintain consistency throughout their respective locations, and translate corporate plans into their respective locations. MURs can be seen throughout fast food companies such as McDonald's, Burger King, or KFC, who have a plethora of operating units. The issue is whether or not MURs are receiving proper training in order to perform more efficiently, thus increasing revenue, staff, and guest satisfaction. I hope you have learned all about what encompasses the quick service restaurant industry. McDonald's has demonstrated what it takes to thrive as a QSR, and that concludes our lesson. If you'd like to know more about McDonald's, head over to the link in the description below. See you soon.